In July of 2021, as the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns were just about to go heads-on, the NBA world was shocked as longtime sports journalist and host Rachel Nichols was caught on video making controversial comments about fellow journalist Maria Taylor during a phone call. You're probably wondering what Rachel Nichols said to attract such attention and response. Well, you're about to find out. If you watch the NBA, you're probably familiar with Rachel Nichols. She's a household name in the sports reporting world, especially in the NBA, with 26 years experience under her belt. She was always the preferred pick for any sit-down interview with many NBA players and executives. In fact, not just NBA players. She has interviewed different sports icons and high-profile people like Floyd Mayweather, Roger Goodell, Mark Cuban, Michael Rubin, and NBA legend Kobe Bryant. Not only that, she has hosted and made appearances on many sports shows, including her own show on ESPN, The Jump, and other popular shows like NBA on TNT and SportsCenter, and many more, making her one of the best out there. As you may know, 2020 was a memorable year for many people because of the crazy COVID-19 pandemic, but also the murder of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter protests that followed after. Changes were needed in the ESPN organization, and the executives were feeling the pressure of the lack of diversity. As the NBA was preparing to continue the NBA season in a bubble in Florida, Rachel Nichols was asked to step aside and be a sideline reporter so that fellow sports journalist Maria Taylor could host the NBA Finals. According to Rachel Nichols, hosting the NBA Finals was not just a dream for her. In fact, it has been put in writing in the new contract she signed in 2019. In response to the decision to step aside as the Finals host, Rachel voiced her frustration on a phone call with LeBron James advisor Adam Mendelsohn in her hotel room at the NBA bubble in 2020. Unknowingly, her conversation was being recorded by a creepy employee thanks to a video feed that remained on and connected to ESPN's server.
So I thought I was done for the day. I did the things you would do on your first day in a hotel room. I spent hours unpacking, called my husband, talked to my kids, called some friends, called my doctor. And unfortunately, that entire time, nobody back at ESPN told me that there was an open line to my hotel room and anyone who looked at the feed could see me. No one shut it off. Decided, oh, she clearly doesn't know she's being watched unpacking or doing all these other things. And at least one person decided to just sit and watch and started spying on me like I was their own personal television show. And when they heard something they thought was juicy, they picked up their cell phone and they started recording my conversation on their cell phone.
The secret recording was shared to ESPN executives, but somehow the video stayed behind scenes, and Rachel acted as the sideline reporter for the 2020 NBA Finals and hosted its championship trophy presentation as well. 1 year later, 4 minutes of edited tape of the phone call got leaked to the New York Times just as the NBA 2021 Finals was about to start, and the details of the conversation were made public. In the leaked footage, Rachel Nichols claimed Maria Taylor was chosen solely because ESPN felt pressured due to its crappy longtime record on diversity, and also suggested that if ESPN wanted to improve its record on diversity, they should not do it by giving Taylor her own contractually guaranteed job as the NBA Finals host. Further saying, just find it somewhere else. You're not going to find it from me or taking my thing away.
If you need to give her more things to do because you're feeling pressure about the crappy long-time record on diversity, which, by the way, I myself, know personally from the female side of it, go for it. Just, find it somewhere else. You're not going to find it with me and taking my thing away.
In response to the New York Times article, ESPN removed Rachel from her role as a sideline reporter for the 2021 NBA Finals, and her show The Jump did not air for a day. However, she did return to the show to issue an on-air apology to Maria Taylor, saying she was deeply, deeply sorry for disappointing those I hurt, particularly Maria Taylor. The Jump continued to air with Rachel as host through the finals until August 16th, even featuring past and current NBA players like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Vince Carter, and Chris Paul. Nearly 7 weeks after the NBA Finals, ESPN announced they have taken Rachel, who has just signed a contract extension a year ago, off its NBA programming and canceled her 5-year-old show The Jump and replaced the show with a similar daily show called NBA Today, hosted by Malika Andrews. However unclear it was whether Rachel will be on the air again, ESPN also declined to confirm whether she will appear on other shows. After the cancellation of her show, The Jump, Rachel took to social media to thank the show's crew and wrote that The Jump was never built to last forever, but it sure was fun. Since her primary show has been canceled, it was only a matter of time for Rachel at ESPN. Unsurprisingly, in January of 2022, ESPN and Rachel Nichols came to an agreement on a settlement, officially bringing an end to her time at ESPN, after previously rejoining the network in 2016 after leaving in 2013 for CNN Turner Sports. Given the magnitude of her talent, nearly 1 year after ESPN removed Rachel Nichols from its airwaves, the longtime NBA reporter landed a new job at Showtime Sports, making her first appearance on the Showtime video podcast, All the Smoke, with former NBA players Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. Rachel shed light on her own version of the controversy that saw ESPN fire her, saying ESPN was asking and pressuring her to help fix the diversity problem in a way a man would not have asked to do. Do you think ESPN would ever say to Reese Davis, "Hey, we want to give Maria this opportunity. You go be the sideline reporter?" Nichols said, referring to Davis, a white man who hosts College Game Day. They don't say that to men. She also suggested the tape had been strategically leaked by people with bad feelings to leverage their own situations. She also went on to apologize again to Maria Taylor, who had left ESPN for NBC shortly after the tape was released, saying, "I feel sorry that any of this touched Maria Taylor." Nichols said, "She's a fellow woman in the business. It wasn't her fault what was going on." Rachel Nichols is a talented, longtime reporter, so it's no surprise to see her back. However, it's not clear if she can attain the former heights she reached with The Jump and with Showtime Sports. The controversy that led to her exit is a mixed one. On one hand, you can say she's right to complain about giving up a role that was promised to her in a contract. On the other hand, you can make up a case about her comments and how they affected Maria Taylor and the ESPN network. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below if ESPN was right to cancel her show and fire her, or if this was just a bad move by ESPN to cover up their own failures.